It's 7:30 a.m. on a cold January morning, and I'm up and ready to greet the day. The forecast looked good, and in the company of 3 other local photographers, we began what would be an incredible day. What is there? It's around 20 minutes now before sunrise. I'm here on the Copper Coast in Waterford. I'm here for sunrise with these stacks that you see here in front of me. Already pre-dawn light is looking nice. The sky itself actually looks like it's going to light up. We might get lucky here this morning. I might end up eating those words, but it's always the case, I suppose, really with landscape and seascape photography. But early signs in here are quite good. We got some good high-level clouds which seem to be catching the early morning light. So if they actually catch the light itself, it will prove to be a beautiful sunrise. So what I've done here is I've come down close to the water. I've got one stack here that's in front of me. The tide is going out as well, so it's going to reveal more of the rocks that you see here in front of me as well itself. But I'm going to play around. I'm going to get a composition here before the light itself will come along, and I'm going to try to aim to get some rocks in the foreground leading me up to this stack that you see here. And then I'm going to try and frame the shot as well, that I can see a couple of the other stacks as well that are on the other side. So yeah, could be a good morning. Let's get set up and we'll see how we go. First composition here, and I've got a rock that's right in front of me, and the way the water as well is coming in around the rock, I think it gives a nice bit of an interest into the actual image itself. And the sky hasn't lit up yet. Hopefully it does light up. What I'm hoping to try and get is some pretty nice bright colours in the sky, which will offset then everything else that we have here below me. But it really is a kind of a dramatic look and feel, and the way I've got the shot as well composed is there's one of the stacks here in front of me which is going to take up quite a lot of the frame itself, but I'm waiting, like I normally would do at the coast with the sea, is I'm waiting for a wave that's going to come in, that's going to give me some motion and some movement around the foreground here, swirling around the rock itself. And as always, I'll take 2 shots, one where the water is coming in and then the other where the water is going out. And the tide is actually going out now as well, so I'm going to have to move with the tide to keep the water motion in the foreground interest as well. So I'll show you the shot here anyway, which is a pre-dawn shot, and I'm going to move now to get a different composition, I think, because even though I like this composition, I have to move because with the water as well, as I said, going out, I have to follow the water as well itself. But yeah, nice first shot anyway. Let's see, hopefully, like I would have said at the beginning, we get a nice sky, but it will be what it will be. Starting to get a bit of colour now in the sky, so I do think that it might still light up for us, who knows. As I said a moment ago here, I've moved out further with the tide, and I've come up to the rocks that are surrounding these stacks, and there's a bit of a channel in the rocks itself, so I'm trying to compose my shot that I've got that channel that's leading up towards where the light will be, and then on the right hand side, as I said earlier, quite imposing is the stack that you can see here in front of me. This whole coastland is quite Jurassic in its look and feel, and it really does excite me really every time I come here, because you'll always find a different shot, and depending on where the light will be, you can move to a certain area and get a completely different shot of the same subject. And right now, before the sun comes up, I actually have 2 filters on, so I think it's going to be a pretty bright sunrise, and when I'm taking my shot here, I'm exposing for the highlights, because if I don't, and I blow the highlights, I won't be able to get those back in post-production. So I'm exposing for the highlights, which will allow me then to be able to bring up the shadows in post-production itself. So I've got my 0.9 and the 0.3 Lee filter, Lee ND grad on at the moment, and as the sun then as well will pop up, I'll have to change my exposure time, but at the moment I'm aiming for between half a second and 1 second, which is normally the speed that I would shoot anyway, because I want to try and capture this channel that's here in front of me with some water as well coming over that. And that's the optimum exposure time to keep that motion within the water itself, and not to completely blur it out or milky water feel or anything like that. So second shot here prior to sunrise, but I do think it's going to be a nice photo. We'll have a look at that photo now, and then we'll come back again once the sun itself then will start to hopefully light up the sky. The sun is up now, and you can see we got some nice light actually on the horizon. Nothing majorly explosive, but still quite nice light. It is not just concentrated on the horizon as well, so we are getting some of the upper atmosphere clouds as well lighting up, but it's totally bright right now anyway. And I've moved on again further, just out again, like I said, following the flow of the waves. And what I have here is some rocks that are below me, another rock here, and again that big stack, which again will dominate most of the photos that I'm taking here this morning. But I'm waiting for a wave then from the water level to come in, which should then fill the frame on the lower part of it here. So I'm using my remote, so I wait for the wave to come through, and now I can take the photograph as the water is going out. I've got a slightly longer exposure as well, trying to be able to capture that movement within the water as well itself. But yeah, nice enough, you know, not the worst morning to be out. Good always to get out anyway as it is, but playing around this morning on this stunning area, you know, you can see the difference that the light would make. So in a couple of episodes ago you would have seen me here for sunset, which sunset it didn't happen incidentally, but a completely different feel to exactly the same scene. Whereas this morning now, with that burst of colour that's on the horizon, and getting some nice reflections on the water as well that's coming through here, and does give me some nice photographs as well itself. So I'm going to finish up my episode here, unless it really explodes, which I don't think it will do because the sun is already up. But thanks very much for watching this episode. I do hope that you enjoyed exploring this stunning area, the Copper Coast in Waterford in Ireland. And as always, please do leave me a like or a comment, or let me know what you thought of the episode itself. And until the next time, slán go fóill.